Starting us off at number 10 is Micah Stoffer. The YouTuber is facing some serious heat right now that goes beyond online drama. Authorities launched an investigation into the welfare of her adopted son Huxley after she and her husband announced that they had placed him with another family. The Delaware County Sheriff's Office said the investigation is currently ongoing and that they will be doing home studies and background checks. The couple are now under fire because their son Huxley, who has autism, has always been a big part of their story. They made videos regarding the adoption process, his condition, their struggles, all of which were monetized and made significant revenue. She is receiving a ton of ridicule and has lost some very big partnerships with brands. Next up at number 9 is Joe Exotic. It's hard to really include him on this celebrity list, but the truth of the matter is he did skyrocket into fame after his documentary came out on Netflix. You have reached some level of fame when they immediately cast a movie off your documentary and hire Nicolas Cage to star as you. So he's got to be famous. But people are losing respect for him very quickly after stories came out about how much his documentary lied about details. Turns out he really did have tigers killed and even shot an innocent horse to use it as meat food at his zoo. There were a lot of sketchy details that surfaced after the documentary ended, and people are not in love with his goofy character anymore. Plus, they also didn't respect that his team is tweeting out currently about his freedom during the middle of a Black Lives Matter movement. We ain't trying to help you out of prison, alright? Sliding into number 8 is Kristen Stewart. People adored her after she took on the lead role as Bella Swan in the Twilight series. Although they thought her acting could have been better, they loved the franchise and the fact that she was dating her co-star Robert Pattinson in real life. But then the world turned against her when photos leaked online of her making out with a different man, a much older married man, might I add, who was her director in Snow White and the Huntsman. Ever since then, people have ridiculed her for being a cheater and has torn her acting apart in every movie after Twilight. Like literally, there's memes that float around the internet poking fun at how terrible of an actress she is. It's like, I feel bad, it's funny, but like, girl needs to make more than one facial expression. All I'm gonna say. In spot number 7 is Shia LaBeouf. His success came from his time in the Transformers franchise, and despite having a bad reputation now, there's no denying that he can act. But his reputation started to go down south when his behavior became completely erratic and weird. In July 2017, he was arrested for disorderly conduct, obstruction, and public intoxication. But it wasn't until video footage of the actor was released that people were left in shock. TMZ released body cam footage which shows Shia cursing at one police officer, calling him different vulgatory names, and saying racist comments towards another officer who was black. Since then, people lost a lot of respect for him and his career hasn't fully recovered. However, he is trying to do better nowadays. He seems to be more level-headed and sober. Cruising into number 6 is Paris Hilton. She was once the big talk of the town when she became a household name for her phrase, "That's hot." She had the title of best-selling author at one time and was a highly paid actress, model, DJ, and brand ambassador. But her career started to dwindle and she blames it on her 2004 sex tape that went viral. It was called One Night in Paris. Clever. Paris claims that the sex tape was actually put out by her ex-boyfriend and was never meant to be seen by anyone. She said it has completely ruined her life, but other people would argue it was her bad acting that did not progress her resume. Well, that, and she also made some awful homophobic comments about not wanting to be gay because apparently, quote, "you will die of AIDS." Halfway through our list, at number 5 is Trisha Paytas. She did quite the damage on her career in 2019, despite being one of the biggest YouTubers at the time. One of the biggest controversies that pretty much ruined her reputation is when she posted a video saying that she is transgender. Being transgender was not the issue. It was how she spoke about it, saying that she identifies with men better and identifies herself as a gay man because she likes guys. People did not really believe her and it seemed more like a publicity stunt than anything. And then after that, she posted videos of her making out with Jaclyn Hill's ex-husband, and seeing as he is not gay and identifies as a man, people were even more pissed off and confused. I'm still confused. about that whole thing. We are moving on to number 4, and we have Mel Gibson. There was a time when Mel Gibson was one of Hollywood's brightest stars, but then he basically started to drown in controversy, and it all started in 2006 when he was arrested for a DUI. He blamed the DUI as having a breakdown and said that he was wasted and angry. But that was not the only thing. It's also hard to forget his fall from grace in 2010 when a series of taped phone conversations between him and his then girlfriend were released. You could hear the actor verbally attacking her with profanity, threats, and racial slurs. He even went as far as saying that he hopes she gets raped. When doing interviews about the phone meltdown, he had no problem continuing to offend people based on race, sexual orientation, gender, and immigration status. Hollywood just began to lose respect for the actor, and so did his fans. Alright guys, at number 3 is Britney Spears. I don't know if it's hate as much as it is confusion. People don't even know how to feel about her these days because she's just so different from how we remember her before she shaved her head and smashed a car window with an umbrella. She was once the biggest pop star in the world for many years, until she had a mental breakdown and then just disappeared from the limelight for a while. Then, when she made her way back, she was just very different. Her voice and music is still the same, but her social media presence has everyone hella confused. She often looks dazed, she does these wild, strange dances, and she talks about how she burned her home gym down. Like literally, in a video, she just casually tells you that she burnt down her entire home gym. How does that happen? Taking over spot number 2 is Logan Paul. His brother Jake was on our part 2 list because he is currently in some heat, but Logan lost his YouTube career a few years ago. Logan was the first Paul brother to have his career really take off, but it all came to an end when one of his videos made news headlines for all the wrong reasons. He vlogged a trip with his friends to the famous suicide forest in Japan, but didn't do it respectfully. The forest has the title because people are known to go into the forest to commit suicide, and Logan actually came across a dead body on his visit. He caught the entire thing on camera and posted it to his YouTube channel. People were furious because of how disrespectful it was, not to mention he and his friends were all laughing in the video about what they just saw. He lost his biggest sponsorships on YouTube and had to go on TV to publicly apologize. Yeah, he ended up leaving YouTube altogether. Successful podcast nowadays, but YouTube not so much. Earning her number 1 place is Lea Michele. The Glee actress is under fire recently after accusations were made on Twitter, accusing her of making a co-star's life a living hell. Samantha Ware worked with her on Glee, and she said she made racial comments to her and said that she would spit in her wig. Lea quickly apologized and said she didn't remember making the comments, but was sorry if she hurt her. But despite the apology, the accusations just came rolling in from other actors that worked with her, saying that she was always dismissive to black actors and that they don't think it is a coincidence. Lea has yet to respond to the other accusations and has not responded to the request for comment.
Starting us off on number 10, Jimmy Fallon. The beloved late night host has been knocked down a few pegs after mass scrutiny has been launched his way. Following the Black Lives Matter movement, many celebrities have had their past dissected by fans for their racist histories. Jimmy Fallon is now one of those celebrities under the microscope. After a clip from a sketch back in 2000 resurfaced, Jimmy was heavily scrutinized for his participation in performing in blackface. In the skit, Jimmy was supposed to be impersonating actor Chris Rock. Haven't we learned by now that blackface is bad? I mean, blackface has always been bad, but really, must we remind people every few years about this? Also, why was it even necessary to put on blackface to impersonate Chris? He's more than just a skin color, people. Needless to say, a lot of people are upset with Jimmy for this, and even had the hashtag Jimmy Fallon is over party trending on Twitter when the news broke. Jimmy has since apologized for his actions, but many say that they will never see the host the same way again. In at number 9, Vanessa Hudgens. Vanessa Hudgens is next up on our list of the most hated celebrities of the year because of her comments made about the current global health crisis. Back in March when this whole crisis sort of began, Vanessa took took to her Instagram live and spoke out about her thoughts of the situation. Vanessa went on to say, even if everybody gets it, like yeah, people are gonna die, which is terrible, but inevitable? Fans were seriously not happy with her remarks and decided to cancel her for it. I mean, I don't blame them. Sure, back when it was the beginning of all this madness, we didn't know how long things were gonna last, but come on, this isn't a situation to make light of. I know we were all bored of being stuck at home and we were struggling with the uncertainty of it all, but still, it's not a very nice thing to say. Vanessa later went back to social media to clear up some things, saying, "I don't take the situation lightly by any means." She apologized for her remarks and has tried to move on from the situation, but it still made her quite a bit of a public enemy for a while. Cruising through at number 8, we have Elon Musk. We've seen a lot of controversy come out about Elon this year. From naming his kid after a barcode to his views on the global health crisis, Elon hasn't been in everyone's good books this year. The SpaceX founder has been scrutinized on Twitter all year, and it seems that no one's really buying into his crap anymore. Even partner Grimes had to call him out on his tweets. Most recently, Grimes had to make Elon come to his senses after tweeting about his views on pronouns. Grimes, who was a big advocate for transgender and non-binary rights, had issued a response to Elon's tweet after saying that pronouns suck, by replying with saying, "I love you, but please turn off your phone. I cannot support hate. Please stop this. I know this isn't your heart." Fans were not happy about the remarks made by Elon, but that's nothing new. Elon has also vocalized his support of rapper Kanye West as he tried running for president, and has even made light of the current health crisis by tweeting "Free America Now" in an effort to get people back to work. My conclusion with Elon here is that he needs to take a break from the internet for a while. He's been ruffling people's feathers a lot this year, so I think it'll do everyone some good to see him stop tweeting for a while. Over here at number 7 we have Lea Michele. Back in June, actress Lea Michele saw her career take a nosedive after co-worker Samantha Ware spoke out about her time on set with Lea, calling it a living hell. The dam holding her career together bust wide open, and a whole slew of allegations against Lea began to surface. Lea had posted a tweet regarding George Floyd saying that the racism must end. Samantha then replied to this tweet saying, "Remember when you made my first TV gig a living hell?" and referenced how her many microaggressions made Samantha question her career in Hollywood. Judging by the fact that Samantha's tweet was in all caps, I think it's safe to say that she's pissed and she's looking for accountability. It wasn't too long after this initial tweet that more people began to come forward and discuss their grievances with Lea. Even her partnership with popular food brand HelloFresh fell through, as they declared that they do not condone racism or discrimination of any kind. To make matters worse for the actress, the apology that she issued wasn't really much of an apology, as she stated that she didn't remember the behavior that she was being accused of, but she had clearly acted in ways which hurt other people. Now, with her accusations and sorry excuse for an apology, no one's really out here trying to forgive Lea, and I personally believe that it'll be a while before we see anyone budge on that. Why can't we all just be nice to people? At number 6, Hartley Sawyer. Flash actor Hartley Sawyer, known for his role as the elongated man, is in some deep trouble with fans. Recently, some of Hartley's tweets from 2012 have resurfaced, and boy are they ever problematic. The now fired actor is being scrutinized for some harsh words sent on Twitter regarding his past racist and misogynistic views. Some of Hartley's tweets are so incredibly vile that I was shocked when I read them. And there are so freaking many. Normally when a celebrity is called out for past tweets, it's usually just a few, but this is way more than just a few. There is like an avalanche worth of horrible things said by Sawyer. Where did this come from? There are so many misogynistic tweets that discuss abuse and calling women animals and beasts that is just so much. If you've ever watched him on The Flash, you know that his character is a pretty sweet dude, so looking at him from this point of view is a serious shock to the system. Halfway through at number 5, Amber Heard. Aquaman actress Amber Heard has been in the news a lot lately, but not at all for anything positive. Amber and ex-husband Johnny Depp have been in an ugly court battle fighting allegations made by the Sun newspaper, saying that Johnny had been abusing the actress. For a long time, people actually believed the allegations to be true, but finally, the real truth came out that revealed that the actual abuser was Amber. For years, people had held the allegations of abuse against Johnny, which subsequently hurt his career. But after finding out that the situation was actually the other way around, fans are coming to Johnny's defense. The whole story really opened people's eyes to the stereotypes surrounding abuse. People often forget that although male abusers are more common and more talked about, men actually face domestic violence and abuse by their partners as as well. Since the news broke about Amber's abuse against Johnny broke, fans have been demanding accountability be taken as well as justice. There's even a petition going around requesting that Amber be removed from the upcoming Aquaman sequel. As the court proceedings carried on, we found out more about the alleged abuse that Amber had committed. Things like severing Johnny's fingertip and cases of verbal abuse are all over this case. Fans are feeling sorry that they didn't come to Johnny's defense sooner, and this whole thing is just so heartbreaking. Johnny has been through so much over the past few years, dealing with some serious relationship turmoil, abuse, and even having to deal with the public accusing you of said abuse even though you are actually the victim in this scenario must really suck. Obviously, people are straight pissed with Amber Heard, and for good reason too. In at number 4, Kanye West. Rapper Kanye West has been making a lot of headlines this year, mostly for his bid to run for president. In a very public display, Kanye has been all over social media talking about his presidential campaign, among other things. At his rally in South Carolina, things got pretty heated for the artist as he went into a sort of manic episode and started going on about things completely unrelated to his campaign. Among those odd topics were stories about Kim Kardashian's conception of their first child North, as well as his views on religion and his belief that abolitionist Harriet Tubman actually sold slaves instead of freeing them. Now, in defense of Kanye and everything he's been saying recently, it does seem that he's in a bad place mental health wise, and a lot of people are trying to get him some help, but I can see why a lot of people are upset with him. Many of the things that Kanye has spoken out about have deeply offended people, including his own family. Shortly after that catastrophe of a rally took place, his wife Kim Kardashian took to Twitter in an effort to de-escalate the situation, but also to voice her disappointment in what Kanye said that night, especially about their eldest daughter. All in all, Kanye's been in some trouble online, and although he seems to be getting the help that he needs, I don't think that fans will be too quick to forgive him, or even vote for him for that matter. Chugging on through to number 3, we have Jeffree Star. Makeup mogul and YouTuber Jeffree Star has been on a lot of people's hate lists for some time now, but this year, with the explosion of the Black Lives Matter movement, people are coming for his many wigs once again. In another resurfaced scandal, Star is being accused of racism for like the billionth time in his career on the internet. The YouTuber has carried around the label of being a racist for many years and has made countless apology videos for that, but this year fans have had enough of him. After an old website of Jeffree's resurfaced on the internet with offensive language as well as photos of him posing with the Confederate flag, Jeffree is back on the fiery coals of Twitter and he's getting roasted. I don't think anyone's really surprised at this point. I mean, 2020 is the year of cancellation, so obviously Jeffree has to be a part of it. Fans are also still angry with him over his involvement with the infamous Dramageddon from last year, and as Dramageddon 2.0 began to rear its ugly head once more this year, Jeffree's reputation took a massive hit. Between his accusations, his past, and just him being Jeffree, he's lost followers, business, and even his collaboration with Morphe. He's had so much backlash over the years that I don't really think anything will change with him. He's made yet another apology video and has just continued on with his life, so I guess that it's only a matter of time before we see him caught in the middle of a next YouTube drama. Coming in close to the end of number 2, we've got Shane Dawson. Speaking of problematic YouTubers, let's talk about Shane Dawson. Shane, much like his YouTube counterpart Jeffree Star, has also had his fair share of YouTube controversies. Shane has also had a reputation for being quite offensive. This year, alongside Jeffree, he has also faced cancellation on the internet. Once again, after footage of him in blackface resurfaced, he was called out for his past racist behavior. As every good YouTuber does, he made an apology video, but that wasn't enough for many fans. As if his current situation couldn't get much worse, YouTuber Tati Westbrook, remember her from Dramageddon? Yeah, she called Dawson out and accused him of being a part of the orchestration of the whole Dramageddon fiasco. Oh, and I'm not done. Shane was also called out by none other than Jaden Smith himself on Twitter. The son of actor Will Smith criticized Shane for making sexualized remarks towards his sister, Willow Smith, back when her song Whip My Hair was first released. In the resurfaced video, Shane is seen in front of a poster of then 11-year-old Willow Smith and acting out in a sexual manner. Both Jaden and Jada Smith were upset about the video and demanded accountability. Since all of this unfolded, Shane's been MIA from the internet and no one knows if or when he'll be back. One thing's for sure, however, no one's gonna be forgiving Shane for a while. Finally, capping things off at number 1, we have Ellen DeGeneres. Now, I'm sure this doesn't come as a surprise to you guys, but here in the number 1 spot we obviously have Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, come on guys, she's had the biggest scandal of the year and we're not even done the year yet. 2020 has not been a good year to be Ellen. But just as a recap, Ellen has been getting absolutely destroyed in the media and on the internet this year. It all has to do with her bad attitude and poor work environment on the set of the Ellen DeGeneres show. We've seen new developments with this story come around at least once a week, and it doesn't seem to be settling down anytime soon. She's had allegations of poor workplace behavior and misconduct be thrown at her, as well as to other execs from the show since the beginning of this year, and it just seems to have snowballed since then. As more and more former employees have come forward to share their horror stories of the celebrity, Ellen's grave has just been dug deeper and deeper. At this point, there's no saving her career. I mean, 1 or 2 scandals here and there can be redeemed, but if you've been facing the hellstorm that is Twitter for months, there's no coming back from that. Even when Twitter decided to cancel Genghis Khan for who knows what, even he could come back from that, and he's been dead for 800 years. Ellen, sorry to say, but you might be Hollywood's newest public enemy #1.
Starting off our countdown at number 10 is Justin Bieber. 2 different accounts on Twitter made allegations this past week that Bieber had raped them back in 2014 and 2015. The account to one of the accusers has been removed, but Bieber responded to the other one, saying that there is no truth to the story. The account, which belongs to a girl named Danielle, claimed the assault happened in Houston, Texas on March 9th, 2014. She said he invited her and 2 friends to a Four Seasons hotel and took her to a private room where the assault took place. Bieber explained that he was with his then girlfriend Selena Gomez that night and shared paparazzi photos and times which showed that he was not at a Four Seasons hotel. He even shared an Airbnb receipt which confirmed he and Selena were staying somewhere else that night. On top of that, he also shared statements from the Four Seasons hotel confirming that he was never there that night and did not have a room. Rolling into number 9 is Selena Gomez. Her story goes hand in hand with Justin's story that I just told. After he started posting all of those screenshots, people were waiting for her to speak up and confirm that his claims were true. Because if she also gave a statement on the allegations, it could prove that a serious claim like rape has no truth to it. But she didn't say anything, and she has still not responded to anything that is going on online right now. People are now going after her, saying that it is wrong for her to remain silent, especially if she can help put this to rest. Now, the 2 of them did not have a good breakup, but surely that is not a reason to let him get burned if it's not true. However, if it is true, it wouldn't be right for her to lie just to have his back. People are furious with her as of right now, but for legal purposes, she might have been advised to not say anything. I think we need to consider that, because I'm sure there's like some legal action happening behind the scenes right now. Up next, number 8 is Shane Dawson. The YouTuber is under fire right now after being accused for planning the Tati Westbrook and James Charles drama that happened last year. If you don't remember it, James almost lost his career after Tati Westbrook came forward with serious claims saying that he uses his fame to sexually take advantage of other people, along with a whole other list of claims against his character. Recently, people have claimed that Shane actually influenced the explosive feud and was in on it behind the scenes. He finally posted a statement about it where he denied the allegations but said that James needed some humbling at the time. James was basically crucified during this time, you guys. It was one of the harshest career-damaging scandals on YouTube. Shane posted one final statement saying that he deleted all of the other statements that I just showed you and is officially done with the beauty world. He's probably said that before. Sliding to number 7 is Colleen Ballinger. You would probably know her better as Miranda Sings, the ridiculous child-friendly character she created that gave her this unexpected life in Hollywood. But she caused a ton of controversy after a 17-year-old named Adam McIntyre made a YouTube video that claimed she sent him lingerie and had him work her social media accounts but did not pay him like they agreed on. He alleged that they formed a relationship back in 2016 when he was just 13 years old and he would ghostwrite content for her Miranda Sings character. But one of his ideas was that she would come out as a Meghan Trainor fan but make it seem like she was like coming out. The LGBTQ community was livid and she issued an apology claiming that she did not approve of it. But he showed screenshots of her agreeing with the initial idea. As for the lingerie, she said it was a joke, but no one found it funny or excusable. Next up at number 6 is Cole Sprouse. It is a crazy time in Hollywood right now. Every day it seems like there is a new celebrity being accused of sexual assault. Cole Sprouse, along with some of his other Riverdale castmates, was one of the latest celebrities in this scandal. Allegations started circulating on Twitter that he sexually assaulted a woman at a party in 2013. One of the Twitter accounts, who goes by the name Victoria, accused him of fondling her breasts at a party in a series of tweets. Cole defended himself and responded by saying, "False accusations do tremendous damage to victims of actual assault. Furthermore, I would never seek to silence anybody. I encourage that people look into the accusations themselves, as the event's details were factually untrue." The hard thing is, people don't know what to believe because they never want to turn a blind eye in case her story is true, so they just assume and put the hatred on him. At the halfway point is Harry Jowsey. He skyrocketed into fame with his ex-girlfriend Francesca after their Netflix series aired called Too Hot to Handle. People quickly fell in love with them as individuals, but also as a couple. They openly talked about their marriage plans on social media, so it was a shock when Francesca posted a YouTube video explaining why they broke up. In her video, she claimed that some of the cheating rumors that were going around were true, and that she could only handle so much. Enough was enough. So naturally, the world turned against him because everyone hates a cheater. But he responded with his own video saying that the rumors were not true and that he simply fell out of love with her. Let's just say, people weren't really buying that excuse. Oh, I just woke up and didn't love you anymore, you know? Just like that. Cruising into number 4, we have Tana Mongeau. This is not the first time someone has called out the YouTuber for racist behavior, but she is asking for forgiveness once again. A black creator named Kaylin Berry, who worked with her on her collaboration channel Trash, exposed her in a recent video for not taking responsibility for her actions and how her behavior is harming others. During their time working together, he said that Tana had racist behavior towards him by gaslighting him, invalidating his feelings, and framing him as a, I quote, angry black person. He went as far as saying that Tana actually spread rumors to people that he had been arrested. But Kaylin was mostly upset that Tana wouldn't speak up about his video or claims and just promoted her OnlyFans account instead. But she finally responded in a series of tweets where she did apologize and said she was taking her time to learn before she responded. In our third spot is Lana Del Rey. The singer was under fire recently after she posted a lengthy Instagram post where she called out other female artists for being successful because they sing sexy lyrics and wear no clothes. Her words. She called out stars like Doja Cat, Ariana Grande, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Beyonce, which fans pointed out appeared to be racist. It was a long post that seemed to put down other female artists and writers, and people were quick to defend everyone mentioned in her post. She compared her music and conservative look to deserve more praise over the other females who take off their clothes and talk about sexuality. Things seemed to get so bad that Ariana Grande actually unfollowed her on Instagram, and other female celebrities publicly disagreed with her post. Taking over the number 2 spot is Jeffree Star. This has been a tough year for the beauty guru, and it is only halfway through. He's been under fire for a variety of things. He was accused of knowing about the Dabby Vanity sexual assault incidents, but did nothing about it. He was also accused of being part of the Tati Westbrook and James Charles scandal, just like Shane Dawson, and he was accused of racial behavior and comments from his past. But the most recent scandal for him has been an old website that resurfaced where he posted offensive and derogatory content. He has apologized for it and asked people to stop spreading the screenshots online, as it does not reflect who he is today. As for the James Charles incident, like Shane Dawson, he also denies having anything to do with it. But who do we trust? We don't even know them, so who really fucking knows? Sniping the number 1 place on our list is Chris D'Elia. Right now, the comedian is facing the heat hotter than anyone else on our list. It all started when a girl named Julia Holtzman revealed screenshots that she has been holding on to for years. She posted the photos and explained that Chris randomly DM'd her on Instagram saying that he came across her page randomly. It was clear on her page that she was in high school. She actually posted 16th birthday photos and pictures from high school football games. The screenshot showed that he gave her his phone number and that he asked her to travel to New York City to visit him. Public records have confirmed the phone number is linked to him, and since then 4 other women have come forward with their own inappropriate stories against him, all of which the girls are underage. He responded to all of this by saying, "All of my relationships have been both legal and consensual, and I have never met or exchanged any inappropriate photos with the people who have tweeted about it." However, people do not believe a word that he says, and let's just say that pedophile is one of the nicer names that he's being called right now. I would hate to be him, but he does seem like a pervert. Starting off our list at number 10 is Daniel Craig, who took on the iconic role of James Bond and hated every minute of it. Although fans were thrilled to see him in the film series, he openly admits that he regretted taking on the role after the first 2 movies. He tells interviewers that he was obligated to do Skyfall and Quantum of Solace because he already signed a contract. The actor went as far as saying that he hopes the movie Skyfall tanks at the box office so that he could get out of it. During an interview with the Rolling Stone back in 2012, he said, "I've been trying to get out of this from the very moment I got into it, but they won't let me go. And I've agreed to do a couple more, but let's see how this one does because business is business, and if the shit goes down, I've got a contract that somebody will happily wipe their ass with." Well, it turns out that the Skyfall ended up making over $1 billion, so he was also in Spectra 3 years later. I guess his wish didn't come true. They were hoping he would come back for even more after his contract ended, but in 2015, when Time Out asked him about doing another one, his response was, "I'd rather break this glass and slit my wrists. I'm over it at the moment. All I want to do is move on." Well, that's a bit dramatic and completely inappropriate, but okay. Moving on. At number 9 we have Kate Winslet, who wasn't the biggest fan of her role in Titanic like many of us were. The actress has had a ton of amazing roles, but her role as Rose in Titanic is probably still her most well known. The movie is iconic. The actress realizes how lucky she was to land such a huge role at the age of 21, but she's also gone on the record saying how embarrassed she was by her own performance. During an interview with Hollywood, she said, "Every single scene I'm like, really? You did it like that? Oh my god, even my American accent, I can't listen to it, it's awful." Well, we often criticize ourselves harder than anyone else, but the actress stands firmly on the fact that she hates her Rose character and can't even watch it. Not just her performance, but the actress says that no one had a good time filming the movie. A variety of injuries took place on set and even the crew was miserable throughout the process. She even goes as far as saying that she hates the movie soundtrack because it was so overdone. During an interview with MTV in 2012, she said, "I feel like throwing up when I hear it. I wish I could say, oh listen everybody, it's a Celine Dion song, but I don't. I just have to sit there, you know, kind of straight face with a massive internal eye roll." Okay, so noted. If you ever meet Kate Winslet, don't bring up Titanic or Celine Dion. Swiping the number 8 spot on our list is Penn Badgley, also known as Dan Humphrey from the admired TV series Gossip Girl. Fans spent years adoring his character, however the actor didn't adore the role like we did. The actor has no problem dissing the series since it ended. In 2015, people interviewed him and asked him about the series coming to an end. Penn responded by saying, "It doesn't make sense at all. It wouldn't have made any sense for anybody. Gossip Girl just doesn't make sense." He even went as far as tweeting out a response to the cover art on the complete series DVD set. It's basically a picture of the cast sitting on top of the New York City skyline. He tweeted a picture of it and said, "LOL we are reclining on New York City. I'm posted up like a futon. Talk about an image of white privilege." Penn often gets asked about his character on the show, even though it ended back in 2012. People usually ask him if he liked his character Dan, to which he replies the same thing each time. His response is, "He's not real. He's a tool on the show with soap operatic arcs, and he needs to be a judgmental douchebag sometimes. I get that, but it sucks when people call me Dan and think that I'm him." Needless to say, the actor is thrilled he's been able to move on from the role and hopes fans will too. Taking our number 7 spot is Jessica Alba, who openly slams her role in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. She took on the role of Sue Storm, which was a new perspective fans were excited to see since we were so used to seeing her as the hot girl next door. However, critics ripped apart the movie and also her performance. They called the movie terribly miscast and said that the movie should also be ashamed to show itself. Alba went on the record to blame the terrible scripting and said she was mistreated while shooting the movie. The actress opened up up during an interview and stated that the director, Tim Story, made her feel worthless. She said during a scene when she was supposed to be emotional, Tim was like, "Don't do that thing with your face, just make it flat, we can CGI the tears in." She went on to explain that she felt like she wasn't good enough and that this role was the one that made her say, and I quote, I don't care about this business anymore. And at number 6 is Jason Bateman, known for many of his roles, but fans raved about him in the comedy Horrible Bosses. The actor said he had a lot of fun with his co-stars filming the first movie, but didn't agree that there should be a sequel. The first movie was a huge success, earning $209 million after its release in 2011, which made Warner Brothers want a sequel. However, Jason Bateman, who starred in both films, saw it differently. During an interview in 2014, he said, "The second one was garbage as far as box office goes. A lot of people saw the first one, but there are plenty of films that made a lot of money where no one is interested in seeing another one." Fans were confused by his statement, seeing as he reprised his role for the second one on his own free will. On Mark Maron's WTF podcast, he admitted he took the role for the paycheck. He said, "That's a paycheck for everyone. Everyone's getting paid, it's a freebie." The actor said he prefers the majority of his other roles over the one he played in this comedic series. Halfway through our list at number 5 is Jennifer Garner, who hated her role in Elektra. The actress took on the role of the assassin Elektra back in 2005. People assumed she'd do an amazing job, seeing as she played a total boss babe for years, but the movie wasn't her best work. She's the first one to point out that she wasn't a fan of the character as well. Well, it's actually her ex-boyfriend Michael Vartan who pointed it out to us. After the movie was released, he told Us Weekly, "I heard Elektra was awful. Jennifer called me and told me it was awful. She had to do it because of Daredevil, it was in her contract." She later opened up about her feelings towards the role, and critics also weren't shy when they tore her performance apart. She responded in interviews by saying she didn't slam the project but is happy she's moved on from the role. So basically she hated it but doesn't really want to say it to the press. At number 4 we have Allison Williams, who wasn't thrilled about her role on the hit TV series Girls. The actress took on the role as Marnie, which gave her the opportunity to perform a more complex character. However, she wasn't a huge fan of her character, as she told BuzzFeed, "Marnie would drive me crazy if we were friends in real life, but I had to put that out of my head in order to play her." The actress explained that her character made a variety of bad decisions that she didn't quite agree with, but there's no denying that it is the role that made her a name in this industry. When the series wrapped, she said she was thrilled to move on to other work and other characters. Now that she's achieved some success, maybe she can afford to be a bit pickier about the roles that she takes on. But like, come on, isn't that why it's called acting? Of course you wouldn't do what your character would. It's a character. That's just my 2 cents. Alright guys, at number 3 is Adam Brody, the actor who took on the role of Seth Cohen in the TV series The OC. Fans were head over heels for his lovable, goofy, and comic book obsessed character. However, the actor wasn't such a big fan and is sick of people asking him about it. Critics said he played the role to perfection, which is probably why he's always interviewed about the role even to this day. During an interview with the Huffington Post, when he was asked whether he missed Seth Cohen, he said, "No, I don't. There are fun things about it, but that character? No. That was a character from 2004 and it's very much of that time, and no, my interests don't lie there at all anymore. It gets boring." The show ran for a total of 4 seasons, so I can understand why you might get bored playing the same character, but come on, no need to be so salty about it. And at number 2 is Rooney Mara, the actress who took on the role as Tiger Lily in the movie Pan. There was a huge controversy when it was announced that she was cast for the role, which was debated to be whitewashing. Thousands of people protested the fact that the white actress shouldn't have been cast as the part, and shockingly, the actress actually agreed with them. During an interview with The Telegraph, Mara said she hated being the center of the controversy. She took a lot of heat when she was originally cast, but then took even more once the film came out. She explained that the role wasn't enjoyable because the whole situation made it tricky to deal with. Ultimately though, she wished that she didn't even do it. She said, "I really hate that I am on that side of the whitewashing conversation. I don't ever want to be on that side of it again. I can understand why people were upset and frustrated." She said she enjoyed her time working with the people involved in the movie, but wishes they made more of an attempt to have a diverse cast. She said, and I quote, "Do I think all of the 4 main people in the film should have been white with blonde hair and blue eyes? No, I think there should have been some diversity somewhere. I mean, we gotta give her some respect for at least admitting something like that." Taking our number 1 spot on today's list is Taylor Momsen. People are usually shocked when they find out that Cindy Lou Who from The Grinch is actually Taylor Momsen, who is also Jenny from Gossip Girl, and who is is also the punk rock and roll singer from the band The Pretty Reckless. The once cute innocent blonde actress turned her style into a punk gothic style, which is why she decided to end her time on the TV series Gossip Girl. During the 5 seasons she was on the show, she played Jenny Humphrey, a young and innocent teenager trying to make it as a fashion designer. Mumson has no issue poking fun at her character and how much she enjoyed leaving that role. Her style on the show began to change throughout the seasons because her style in real life was. She decided to leave the show where her character was written out and she turned to the music industry instead. She's had huge success with her band The Pretty Reckless and gets pretty annoyed when people ask her about her time on Gossip Girl. During an interview in 2014, she told RFT Music, "I'm not looking to go back to it. Gossip Girl was a great experience. It helped me in one way, but it also hurt me in another. When we go to shows, the fans don't give a about the TV show. They are there for my music." If you look back at the TV show now, she's almost unrecognizable with who she actually is today. Most people don't even know that it's actually the same person.
Kicking things off at number 10, Ed Brown, also known as Big Ed. Big Ed has made a big impact on viewers during his time on 90 Day Fiancé. But since the beginning, fans of the show haven't been too impressed with Ed and his character. Fans were pretty displeased with how Ed treated his girlfriend Rosemary Vega on the show. Ed faced backlash for lying to her about his height, commenting on her appearance, telling her to get an STD test, and lying to her about wanting more kids. There was just a lot wrong with their relationship, and the fact that when he would lie to Rosemary, he didn't seem remorseful at all. But his actions on the show aren't the only reason why Ed has faced some backlash. Ed's former co-worker came forward with allegations that Ed had harassed and insulted her over the course of several months. Ed's co-worker Lorelai Clemens claimed that Ed was grooming her and she experienced verbal harassment and ended up in the hospital and dealt with a lot of health issues as a result of an incident that happened with them. He's not really as genuine as he claims to be, and baby, we've seen it. In at number 9, Cardi B. This year Cardi B has faced heaps of backlash, mostly pertaining to her song WAP. Yes, we're talking about this again. But I mean, although she's found a lot of success through the release of the song, she's also acquired quite a lot of hate as a result. There have been people saying that the song is too vulgar and that it's too sexual and the song is degrading to women. We've heard opinions from politicians to actors and everyone in between, but Cardi and her creation have been at the center of it all. Cardi doesn't seem to care much about what people think of her because she's proud of what she's created, but that doesn't stop people from hating her. Cardi's faced backlash in the past for allegedly assaulting men and for her criminal background, but she's never changed for anyone and I doubt she ever will. Cardi really just remains unfazed by the whole thing. In at 8, Doja Cat. Doja Cat, my apparent celebrity doppelganger, got some serious hate this year just for it all to be rescinded. The singer was cancelled and even had her very own over party trending on Twitter just for people to double back and apologize, saying that they were wrong and taking back her cancellation. What started the controversy that had people hating on her earlier this year was a resurfaced video of Doja Cat in an alt-right chat room. People online were claiming that she was participating in the chat talking to racists and laughing at their racist jokes, so naturally they pegged Doja as a racist as well. Following the chat room allegations, one of her old songs resurfaced where people were claiming that she was making fun of victims of police brutality. Obviously this was pretty bad and Doja was getting a lot of hate for it, but soon enough the claims that Doja was racist were debunked as the truth about the chat rooms came out, saying that they were not racist at all and Doja had never said anything racist. Soon the hashtag #WeAreSorryDoja started trending and the whole scandal pretty much blew over as if nothing happened. At 7, Tana Mongeau. Tana Mongeau is no stranger to getting hate, that's for damn sure. But 2020 has brought on a new wave of hate, prompting Tana to be forced to take accountability for her past actions. An influencer named Kaylin Berry made a video titled "Finally Revealing the Truth About Tana Mongeau," where he talked about how Tana mistreated him when they worked on a channel together called Trash back in 2016. Not too long after the video was released, another influencer by the name of Vanessa Briella came forward to talk about Tana, as well as her manager Jordan Verona. Both Kaylin and Nessa accused Tana and her manager of gaslighting, spreading lies, and dismissing the feelings of the black creators who they worked with. The allegations came up following the Black Lives Matter movement, where a lot of people had been coming forward to highlight the microaggressions against black people in the industry. Fans called on Tana to address the situation and take accountability for her actions. She finally released an apology video addressing everything she's been accused of, but people thought the video was stale and robotic and gave her a hard time for that too. In at number 6, Evangeline Lilly. Back in March, when the world was starting to lock down and address the global health crisis, we saw some celebrities make some questionable judgments on the situation, as well as voice some pretty unpopular opinions. Back when Gal Gadot was singing to the internet to lift spirits, and Vanessa Hudgens was speaking ill of those affected by the virus, we saw Marvel actress Evangeline Lilly posting about how she was dealing with the global health crisis. In an Instagram post, Lilly posted that it was business as usual and she dropped her kids off at gymnastics class and went on with her day. Backlash ensued, and in response, the actress said that the lockdown protocols felt like martial law and that she valued her freedom over her life. A very unpopular opinion. Even Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner chimed in to call Evangeline's decision stupid. I mean, it's not the smartest decision, but that's just my opinion. Halfway through at number 5, Chris D'Elia. There's been a lot of hate towards Chris D'Elia following accusations of making advances on underage girls and sexual misconduct. There have been several young women who have come forward to claim that Chris had made advances on them when they were under the age of 18. Many of the young women claim that they've been groomed by Chris and have been sharing their experiences on Twitter, as well as proof of their encounters with the comedian. But these girls aren't the only ones to come forward with claims of inappropriate behavior against Chris. There was also an alleged incident where Chris exposed himself to a hotel staff member when he called for assistance with his room, and when the woman left, he tried to get her to come back in his room again. Like she would? I mean, come on. The backlash against Chris had cost him some of his fan base, as well as his upcoming show dropped by Netflix. In at 4, Lana Del Rey. This year, singer Lana Del Rey has come under fire for her comments about women in music. Lana was receiving hate for bringing up a double standard that stars like Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, Doja Cat, and others receive praise for their music, talking about being sexy, wearing no clothes, and other topics, whereas critics have called Lana out for allegedly glamorizing abuse and other things. Lana claimed that the fact that she gets hate for singing about certain topics isn't fair for her, and that there should be a feminist community for women like her who get their voices taken away by other stronger women or men who hate women. She was also criticized on Twitter for calling out women of color to support her argument, though people say that she had completely glossed over how those women have also had their struggles with writing about their own issues, and called Lana out for her white privilege. Although there were some who agreed with her statement, some did not like the way that she worded it. At number 3, Liu Yifei. Liu Yifei is the new leading lady in the Disney live-action remake of Mulan. Though the movie has been pushed back because of the pandemic, the film has finally been released, but people are trying to boycott the movie because of Yifei's support of the Hong Kong police. There has been a lot of controversy surrounding the Hong Kong police, as they've been clashing with protesters who are pro-democracy in the country. There have been many violent clashes in the past, and the UN Human Rights Office, as well as Amnesty International, have condemned the Hong Kong police for their use of force against protesters. People online have been very angry with the actress's support of the police force because of her large following, saying that she could have been a voice for justice rather than supporting the brutality. The movie has also come under fire for filming in an area that is currently being used as detention camps for minorities, and has been condemned as human rights abuse by human rights advocates. In at number 2, Bella Thorne. This year, Bella Thorne has been receiving backlash because of her OnlyFans scam. The former Disney star announced a few weeks ago that she was starting an OnlyFans page where fans could pay to see exclusive content of the star. The response to her launch was huge, and she made over $1 million in the first 24 hours of the site being live, but soon the success came back to haunt her. Fans were not happy with the content and requested a refund for their purchases, and because the OnlyFans guidelines permitted that, customers received their refund, but at the expense of many other creators on the site. The money that was returned to the customers was tied to the income of many other creators, and therefore OnlyFans was in a deficit and were not able to pay other creators as a result. People were really upset with Bella because her scam cost other creators their income, since they were gonna have to wait 30 days to cash out their earnings instead of the usual 7. Fans were hating on Bella not only for scamming her customers by not providing what they thought she would, but also because she single-handedly broke the system which supplied payments for other creators on the platform. Finally, at number 1, J.K. Rowling. There's a lot going on with J.K. over here. She's been getting hate for months now, and every time she comes out with a new statement, it just keeps getting worse. All of this started back in June when JK came out with statements about transgender people, and many people took offense to what she'd been saying. JK spoke out about how women are the only people who menstruate. She posted about TERF, which stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. She wrote about her support for a woman who lost her job because she was transphobic, and liked a tweet that compared hormone therapy to antidepressants. Basically, people are hating her because she's allegedly been transphobic. Bottom line. Recently, she's dug her grave just a little bit deeper as she announced a new book that explores a cold case involving a transvestite serial killer. Though JK says that she's a supporter of trans rights, her actions seem to say otherwise, so she's been faced with a lot of backlash from the LGBT community, as well as the cast of the Harry Potter movies.
In at number 10, Debbie Ryan. Debbie Ryan is an American actress and singer, and she started acting in professional theaters at the age of 7 and was later discovered in a nationwide search by the Disney Channel. From 2011 to 2015, Ryan starred as the title character on the Disney Channel television series called Jessie, and appeared in the 2012 television film Radio Rebel. In April of 2016, Ryan was arrested for driving under the influence. Initially, she was charged with felony DUI, but it was later reduced to 2 misdemeanors. She was released after posting $100,000 bail. Apparently, she slammed her Audi into a Mercedes, and when the cops came, they gave the then 22-year-old actress a field sobriety test and promptly arrested her. Debbie did get a break though. Authorities decided, as I said, to bump it down to a misdemeanor because the injury was minor and she only blew a .11, not that much over the .08 legal limit. There was also rumors that she would bully her co-stars while on set, which didn't exactly give her a good reputation with fans of the show. In at number 9, David Henry. David Henry is an American actor and director, and he's mostly known for playing Ted Mosby's future son Luke on How I Met Your Mother and Justin Russo in Wizards of Waverly Place. He also has starred in the films Little Boy and Walt Before Mickey. While he was at the Universal City Walk back in 2010, David was detained by police for disturbing the peace. Witnesses said that the actor challenged a person to fight, but not too long after, he was later released to his father. According to Variety, though, he was arrested again in 2018. Variety confirmed with an LAX public information officer that Henry was arrested at LAX after a TSA officer went through his bag and found a firearm. Following the incident, David apologized in a statement on Twitter, saying that he unintentionally brought his gun, which he legally owns and is registered to his name, but fans, however, could no longer look at him the same way, and because of these multiple incidents with the police, his image was certainly tarnished. In at number 8, Annalise Vanderpool. Best known for her role as Chelsea Daniels in That's So Raven, Annalise went on to star in the Bratz movie the same year that Raven ended. Annalise pleaded no contest to 2 misdemeanors, driving under the influence and driving with a blood alcohol level above .08, and the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office prosecuted the case. The court offered Miss Vanderpool 36 months probation and a penalty of $2,844 in fines and assessments. Annalise posted this photo to her Facebook page, saying that she was blocking out all of the negativity and hate, so you know her fans must have really been turning on her after all of these poor decisions. Plus, the first episode of Raven's Home aired at the start of 2017, so perhaps it didn't get the type of response that she was hoping for. In at number 7, Demi Lovato. First really becoming loved for her performances in Sunny with a Chance and Camp Rock, the star's image was quickly flipped after a terrible altercation. According to TMZ, she punched one of her backup dancers with a closed fist and struck her on the left side of her face. The dancer was not clean out of her seat and had to receive emergency medical attention. Lovato was immediately removed from the plane and eventually returned home. She checked herself into a treatment center shortly after. She began to try to rebuild her image, but it's pretty hard for people who loved her on Disney to just take her back after an incident like that. In at number 6, Shia LaBeouf. Even Steven star Shia LaBeouf was loved by many, and he even received a Young Artist Award nomination in 2001 and won a Daytime Emmy Award in 2003 for the show. Although Shia LaBeouf's career would soon take a tumultuous turn. In 2017 alone, the actor was sued for $5 million by a bartender, he was arrested in Savannah, Georgia for public intoxication, and he was ordered to attend a 10-week rehab program. He was also arrested in Austin, Texas, and witnesses say that the actor was blitzed, out of control, and disobeyed the police. Shia was taken to the Travis County Jail and booked for misdemeanor public intoxication, and Shia, who's been to rehab, has also been dogged by substance abuse problems for a long time. While he has delivered some terrific performances in his latest projects, Disney fans can't stand his level of defiance. In at number 5, Lindsay Lohan. Lohan debuted in Disney's 1998 family comedy The Parent Trap, a remake of the original. She also starred in 2 Disney television movies called Life Size, opposite Tyra Banks in 2000, and Get a Clue in 2002. Lohan had been arrested a number of times, including her infamous drug-fueled car chase through Santa Monica back in 2007. 3 men said an intoxicated Lindsay hijacked a car in which they were passengers, blew through red lights, and eventually ended up at the police department where she was arrested for a DUI. This was also her second DUI bust in less than 90 days. Cops also said that they found cocaine on her, and she quickly went from being the next big thing in Hollywood to one of the most hated. In at number 4, Adam Hicks. His first leading role was in the movie How to Eat Fried Worms, and he was also known for playing Luther in the Disney XD series called Zeke and Luther. The Disney star was arrested after allegedly committing 4 or 5 armed robberies in the San Fernando Valley. Sources say that Hicks and his girlfriend would go up to people that were walking, stick a gun in their face, and demand money, cell phones, and other items. A neighbor originally told the police that they witnessed the alleged assault, but when the police followed up, they became uncooperative. His girlfriend also refused to cooperate with the case as well. However, the cops are still saying that Hicks, who is currently starring on Hulu's Freakish, and girlfriend, who is also an actor, robbed 4 people at some point in the early morning. In a surveillance video, a man who is believed to be Hicks approaches a man walking on the street. The suspect has a gun tucked under his arm. Yeah, I don't think anyone's watching Zeke and Luther ever again after that. In at number 3, Lelaine Vergara-Perras. Lelaine is better known for her role as Miranda Sanchez on Lizzie McGuire, and after she tried to pursue a music career, she sort of fell into obscurity. She had filmed with the show from 2001 to 2004, but by 2007, people started to find out who she really was. In July of 2007, Lelaine was arrested and charged with felony possession of methamphetamines. She also pleaded guilty to this charge, and a $50,000 bench warrant was set after she failed to appear in court for her hearing. According to Lelaine, she had some serious beef with her fellow actors, as she was the only one deemed to be too ethnic. They actually told her to look as white as possible, which undoubtedly caused some tension between her and everyone else on the show. When the Lizzie McGuire reboot was in the works, they confirmed every character returning, but Lelaine was left out of the conversation. Sadly, even though she was a big part of Lizzie McGuire, most Disney fans still can't stand her. In at number 2, Orlando Brown. That's how Raven star Orlando Brown smiled for a mugshot after a family dispute led to cops showing up at the star's apartment. Cops then checked their system and arrested him for an active warrant popping up. Best known for his role as Eddie Thomas on That's So Raven, it became evident that fans were no longer on his side when Disney reprised the show under its new name, Raven's Home. While Raven-Symoné and Annalise Vanderpool came back, Orlando was noticeably missing from the reunion. The main reason why they couldn't have him back was due to his very non-Disney-like behavior. Brown made headlines after he was arrested for public intoxication and disturbing the peace after he threatened to kill a woman. And no more fans for you. Last but certainly not least, at our number 1 spot, Vanessa Hudgens. Vanessa Hudgens has had some major issues with her fans after departing from her once innocent Disney image. Her fans loved her in High School Musical, but when she started doing films like Spring Breakers, it seemed like she was trying too hard to break that image. When the lockdown started happening, she got herself into some even more trouble while doing some Instagram live streams with her fans. Her fans were asking about how she felt about the quarantine, and Hudgens just said this.
I'm like, even if everybody gets it, like, yeah, people are gonna die. It's just terrible, but like, inevitable? I don't know.
At that point in time, no one really had any idea when these lockdowns would be lifted, and you could clearly tell that she was annoyed by the inconvenience of needing to lock down to protect the sick and vulnerable, but this kind of selfish behavior was frowned upon by many, including whatever fans she had left.
At number 10, we have Jennifer Lawrence. Now, it's no lie that Jennifer Lawrence's career started off strong due to some of her iconic roles in films such as The X-Men and Hunger Games. She also worked really hard for her roles in the films Winter's Bone and Silver Lining Playbook. At the time, she made us think she could do it all, and her down-to-earth personality made us all love her. But then everything started to change, and we actually all just started to get pretty annoyed with her actions. Even one time, the star appeared on SNL and began to rage on with her quirky, annoying, relatable charm, and fans started to believe that she was just another Hollywood diva hiding behind this fake, cute persona. Then she started appearing in films such as Mother and Red Sparrow, which caused her career to splinter, and her fan base would then start to divide. Also, we can't forget the time in Hawaii when she caused a sacred rock fall down the mountain. Whatever the reasons may be, we all can't stop hating on this actor recently. And number 9, Katy Perry. Katy Perry is no stranger to intense media attention, as the pop star has always had high levels of public criticism. It's no lie that Katy Perry absolutely dominated the music scene in 2010 with numerous monster singles off of her album Teenage Dream. However, then the Witness era started and everyone kinda recoiled their support for the star. After Katy cut her hair and dyed it blonde, she would set out to release a string of embarrassing singles like her songs Bon Appetit and Swish Swish. Both songs were actually
pretty horrifying to listen to. On top of the songs, Katie began to act really weird and we all didn't catch on to her odd behavior until she made an appearance on Ellen, and it made us all cringe. She even had Ellen wishing the show was over. Now, Katie was dealing with depression at the time, which likely played a huge part in her odd behavior and dramatic transformation. However, her newly woke image and her ongoing feud with Taylor Swift have been pretty criticized, and it's hard to support the star as she isn't willing to grow, learn, and change. Hey Peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And number 8, Kanye West. Now Kanye West is iconic, and he's been pretty popular as a rapper as he's gone on to sell millions of albums. However, that hasn't stopped people from having negative opinions about him. Now, we all used to love Kanye for his ability to speak his mind, however his actions lately have us all pretty divided when it comes to supporting the star. Many people have started to view Kanye as someone who can't be trusted because it seems like everything lately seems to set the rapper off, and he's been saying a lot of controversial things that make us all just shake our heads. Kanye has been making it into headlines for the wrong reasons, and it has us all questioning why he would try to achieve fame with such meaningless and hurtful statements. I think we can all agree we miss the old Kanye. And number 7, James Charles. James Charles rose to fame quickly when he became the first male CoverGirl spokesperson at the age of 16. However, following a feud with fellow beauty blogger Tati Westbrook, James's following would fall from 16 million to 13 million followers. The drama over James promoting Sugar Bear hair vitamins, which is a direct competitor to Tati's hair supplement company Halo Beauty, would cause both stars to cut ties with each other, and Tati would then come for James and would start to expose a list of his bad behaviors. James's behavior online to be successful and adored by thousands had covered up a dark layer of his true personality, and after Tati exposed him, he only seemed to spiral more out of control, which made us all unfollow the star as we could no longer ignore the red flags he was sending us. And number 6, Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star is a pretty problematic character. No matter what, he's always in the drama. He's caught lying or trying his hardest just to get in or out of drama, and it's exhausting trying to keep up with him. The man has made it his whole life to know the tea on just about every situation in Hollywood, and it really makes us wonder how he has so much time on his hands to be so problematic. Over the years, many people have started calling out the makeup guru, and his fans have a tendency to forget that he hasn't changed and that he's actually just managed to make us all think he did, so he can carry on with his chaotic lifestyle. Jeffree has a tendency to target people and belittle them in ways to make his views soar. Now, you think after being exposed so many times, he would wake up and see that his behavior is no longer okay, but it looks like he won't be changing anytime soon, as his influence has always been problematic, and that's why he's been cancelled. At number 5, Chris Brown. Chris Brown used to be a heartthrob that stole our hearts. However, for more than a decade, Brown has repeatedly been accused of treating women poorly, making it really hard for any of us to support the guy. The most high-profile incident involves his former girlfriend Rihanna. When news broke about the way he treated her, we were all left heartbroken to see the images that TMZ leaked of her face. Following the incident, Chris Brown just seemed to get more aggressive, and multiple women would go on to file restraining orders and even call police on the star. The fact that Chris Brown still even had a career after what he did to Rihanna had us all shook. However, his controversial actions have made it pretty hard for any of us to support him, and there's a reason why a lot of us can't even listen to his songs anymore. And number 4, Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton and her family used to be the Kardashians of Hollywood. However, the blonde heiress quickly went from being someone we all wanted to being someone we all wanted to forget. The reason many people seem to hate the star is because over the last decade, she has been marketed as a spoiled rich girl by the media and doesn't even seem to notice. She hasn't really been working, and she's been using her connections to live out this teenage dream even though she's no longer a teenager. If she would just live a quiet life and be unproblematic, people might actually start to like her again. She keeps trying to ruin people's dreams and hopes by incorporating the idea that if you want to make it, you need to have rich parents, which isn't true at all. She's made it pretty hard to actually support her, and her image not only hurts herself, but it hurts her family as well. At number 3, Nicki Minaj. Okay, we all used to be huge Nicki Minaj fans because she made all of our Barbie dreams come true. Being one of the most successful female rappers, we all used to sit in our basements and scream out her lyrics, especially when it came to her song Super Bass. However, over the last decade, the star has been pretty problematic, and it really made us question her true motives. It seems like if you're a rapper entering into the industry under Nicki, you better watch out, because it seems like she comes for everyone in an attempt to block them from reaching the top. Just take her feud with Cardi B for an example. These two women had the chance to become a powerful duo. However, Nicki felt threatened that another female was climbing the ranks faster than she ever could, and she decided to come for Cardi in a chance to snub her rise. Who can forget the time Cardi threw her shoe at Minaj? It was just one of those moments we knew that we could no longer trust the rapper, as she was no longer real, and she proved that she was really unsupportive towards other females entering into the industry, which was really sad to see. And number 2, Rebecca Black. Rebecca Black was cute until she released her single Friday in 2011. After that, we all started to dislike her for having the most horrendous song stuck in our heads. I swear, even to this day, when I hear the word Friday, all my brain can think of it's Friday, I'm gonna get down on a Friday. And if you haven't heard the song, take my advice, don't, as you just might not like Fridays anymore. After Friday was released, it was quickly dubbed as the world's worst song. Now, Rebecca's video would rack up millions of views, but the reviews were mainly negative, with hundreds of thousands of negative comments. Rebecca would even try to go on to resume her career, but she could never leave Friday behind, which caused her to disappear from the industry completely. And at number 1 today, we have Kristen Stewart. For many years, we all admired Kristen Stewart until she became labeled as problematic and accused of wheeling out some pretty bad behavior in a bid to score attention in headlines. Many people actually started to hate on Kristen Stewart because of her role in the movie franchise Twilight. When many people started to label her as a bad actress, many people forgot to realize that her character in the movie was actually just planned badly, and that throughout her entire career in Hollywood, she has proven to be an extremely talented actress. When Kristen was caught cheating on Robert Pattinson, many fans would come for the star as they felt betrayed that she could do something so horrible to someone so beautiful. The media also has a tendency to go with any story they have on her, and some articles have even had her fans divided on whether they should love her or hate her.